College Admission Secrets.
What's up, everyone? It's Coach Tony here with College Admission Secrets. Welcome to a special webinar entitled How UC Admission Readers Evaluate College Application. I'm your host, Coach Tony. I'm super excited to connect with you guys. This is a special private webinar, How UC Admissions Reader Evaluate College Application. Let's go ahead and get started. On today's session, my goal by the end of the 60 minutes is to give you 4 things. Number 1, I'm going to help you learn common mistakes that students make and how to avoid them. Number 2, I'm going to help you gain insider knowledge of how UC admissions work and what readers like myself looked for. Number 3, I want to open up for Q&A. So those who are ready, if you have questions, again, don't wait till the end. We open up the Q&A box already. I'm not going to look at it right now, but just drop your questions in there. I'm going to try to answer as many as I can today. So definitely start dropping them in there as the presentation is going. And number 4, we're going to discover how you can support your child. What can we do? We're going to talk about that, spend a few minutes talking about that for those who are interested in teaming up with our team on this really fun journey as well. For those who are new, what's up? My name is Coach Tony. A little fun background on the right side there. When I applied to schools, I got to a lot of schools myself. I got into 30 plus colleges. I actually turned down a full ride at UCI and UCLA to go to UC Berkeley. Reality, to get away from my parents. That was the real reason why I did that. UC Berkeley did not give me a full ride there, but I definitely loved my time. 2 weeks into college, though, I did get homesick. Therefore, now I'm back in beautiful Orange County as well. I've been here ever since then. Because the reason why we're all here today is after I graduated from Berkeley, I got offered the opportunity to be a UC Berkeley admissions reader. What that means is I was one of the people who helped play a role. I read applications. I recommended yes to students that should be accepted, recommended no to a lot more. Did that for multiple years, read tons of applications, and I've been running College Admission Secrets since then to kind of help you guys with this journey, sharing, hey, the yes students have this in common. Let's do more of that. Hey, the no students have this coming. Let's kind of avoid that. That's me, that the theme of today's conversation there. Afterwards, I've been involved in education my entire life. So I worked at Magoosh, an amazing test prep company. I was their high school liaison, high school lead there. Then I worked at UCLA as an outreach director over there for a little bit. I one of the co-founders of a public charter school in the city of Orange, in Orange County, called Unity Middle College High School. I was TikTok's first college admissions partner. When they started doing partnerships, I was the first one in the college admission space, and proud founder of College Admission Secrets and our brand new AP math tutoring company, Math Koala. So I'm super pumped to chat with you guys today. And somebody that's like, who's this guy? How can he speak on all this? We've worked with a lot of kids. Boom. One of our students last year gone to UC Davis. Another one of our students got into Pepperdine University. Another one, her son Adam, gone to San Diego, Davis, Berkeley for engineering. Heather, her son, gone to UCI. Tracy's family, you guys can read that. Tons of amazing schools there as well too. And Erica, one of our other parents, kids gone to Berkeley. Another one gone to Cal Poly Engineering. Another one, BSMD, UMKC. Next one, UCLA and UC Berkeley. Next one, San Diego, UCI, Santa Barbara, Boston, CMU, Northeastern. Next one, USC. 2 weeks getting down submitted apps, got accepted to 2 schools. Another one, data science major, CWRU, UC Irvine, ASU, UC Berkeley. Next one, a school in Canada, Cal Poly SLO. Next one, Merced, Davis, chemistry. Another one, UC Berkeley. Tons of schools here. I'm just gonna run through them. UC, the student Davis, Santa Cruz, Berkeley's Tulane, LMU, UC Berkeley, another one, UCLA, UC Berkeley, another one, UCLA and Duke as well. Next one, USC, UC Berkeley. This one, tons of schools. She got into all her schools as an out-of-state student, and she's currently at Cornell. Tons of more schools. She's currently at UC Berkeley. We have done a lot of really cool success stories over the years. So again, I'm here to give you kind of all my bag of tricks. So we're going to start off first with UC misconception. Let's debunk some stuff. We are the Mythbusters for right now, next few minutes. Myth number 1, only the top percentage got in. And while people talk about kids with top scores and stuff, and you guys know UCs are test blind today, so the test scores don't even mean anything. UCs use a holistic approach, which is what we talk about a lot about today as well too. So no, this is not actually true. People say there's an in-state bias, right? A lot of our families are from California, but we do have some out-of-state families. Every single year we work with multiple out-of-state families who want to come to the UCs. Vice versa, we have families in California who want to go. The in-state bias of the UCs, and yes, while the UCs do prefer the California students, students, they have around 18% kind of cap, the limit that they want to fill with out of state, with international families every single year. Extracurricular overload, right? People think, yeah, I can do like 1,000 extracurriculars. No, we're going to talk about today, quality and commitment is way more important than quantity. Next one, your major matters. Coach Tony, do I pick this major? Do I pick this major? For most of the questions out there, a lot of UCs admit by college, which means your major doesn't really matter. If you look under your majors, look under what college is under, that's usually going to be what you're being compared at, not specifically that major itself. Next one, the essays aren't that important. Just focus on the school. No, personal insight questions are probably one of the most important factors of that. Again, we'll talk about that in a little bit today. Next one, recommendation letters are important. Maybe to the Common Apps, maybe to private schools, but when it comes to UCs, most of them don't even take letters of recommendation at the very beginning. Low star though, guys, I'll talk about that in a little bit today. All the UCs have the same criteria. Yes, while that is true that the UCs use one system, each school does review applications differently. Same factors, but how you look at it is a little different. We'll talk about that today. Transfers are second-class admits. No, transfers are a great alternative route to get into the UC schools as well. Undeclared is easier. For some schools now, it is not. It's actually also the same rigor, same competitiveness as the other majors themselves. So no, undeclared sometimes is actually also impacted at certain schools. UCs don't consider individual circumstances. Completely wrong. We're going to talk about holistic review today. UCs look at everything and they consider everything. There's no one thing that's going to make or break your experience, your application itself there. Next one, let's talk about the UC's criteria and methods. Essentially, I'm going to tell you what's really important in a UC application. So the biggest thing to keep in mind is UCs use something called comprehensive review. There are 13 factors of comprehensive review. As a reader, we were trained to look at and to find in the student applications. You can read this, but it's not going to be super useful. In short, here's a quick summary of all that big word. UCs use something called the holistic approach. Essentially, they look at the whole student as a whole, not just one piece. A lot of people think just the academic. Context is really, really important. So here are the main key components of your application. One, academic performance. Number two, extracurricular activities. Number three, personal insight questions. Number four, special talents, achievements, awards. And number five, any additional contextual factors. These are the main components of your application you need to get right if you want to be successful in the UC admissions process. We also want to throw in what we call the X factor. So what it means is that, again, in today's world, every student out there is competitive, right? Every student, all at the same time, while they're competitive, they all kind of look the same. Every student's doing the same clubs, taking the same classes, doing the same volunteering, same thing. So as a reader, how do you quote unquote stand out? When I say stand out, right away, your head goes to research. It goes to internships, summer programs, and you're probably trained that because your friend told you, hey, my child did that. They went to UC Berkeley. No, fun fact, most of our students don't have research. They don't do internships. They don't do summer programs. Not saying all of them, some of our students do, but most don't, right? And they still get into all the top schools. So for us, it's understanding what does standout really mean? When it comes to the quantitative versus the qualitative, it's the qualitative stuff, right? It's not like doing a lot of things. It's doing something really well, right? The personal narrative, where is it coming from? Again, why are you doing research? High school research is kind of baloney. Think about it. There's people with PhDs, people who are professors. They can't even find research. If someone with 10 more years of school on top of your child can't find research and your child found research, what are they really doing? Most of the time, they're doing data entry and copying over numbers using big fancy scientific words to sound fancy. But at the end, they're just copying over digits. Very few high school students have the capacity, the knowledge to actually do real research, which again, masters and PhD people are still struggling to get at their advanced level. So for us, is when it comes to personality, what's something unique about you that you want to share there? Next one, passion and depth, something you enjoy, not just doing stuff to look good, but doing stuff because you truly enjoy that. Identifying what the university values. What is the UC value? And again, a lot of the common things out, like to be a decent human in the world, right, is what they value. And taking initiative, being the person who goes out and does things. This is not about being perfect. It's about being memorable, authentic, and demonstrating potentials. This is how you stand out in the process. So now we're here. What does a UC reader see and think about? Before we talk about what they actually see, right? Let's talk about before reader training. So every year we have to go to reader training to understand and learn kind of what the readers are kind of trained to look at. This kind of gives you guys a little perspective like, hey, it wasn't just because of this factor my child didn't get in. There's a lot of factors. It is fair. Number one, readers go through comprehensive review training, meaning they understand that 13 list that I went through earlier, what I talked about earlier of what they look for. Lots of training on that, what that looks like, what types of clubs, activities, academics, what acronyms are things as well too. Tons of trainings on that. Specific also UC resources training, right? Hey, at our school, we're looking for these. There's something called overlays that certain colleges have. Hey, the College of Engineering kind of wants this on your application. We learned the nuances of the UC school itself. All the readers also go through bias training, right? All of us have a natural bias. You might not think that way. No, I'm a good person. No, there is natural biases that you naturally say when people read certain things or when they see certain things, your brain naturally just clicks to something. I'm not saying it's bad. We're human. It's how our brains are wired, but you don't want that affecting a student. So that's why we go through bias training, to be aware, to be cognizant of that. So when we read the apps, we're very impartial to anything that they say in there. Next, regional training. Again, these apps are read regionally. They're not read against everything. For example, an Orange County student is not going to be paired against a Bay Area student versus an LA student. They're all different regions. And the last piece of the puzzle is norming. There's a few hundred readers at all the schools, and then the goal of norming is to get everyone to think the same way, meaning we read tons of apps throughout the training process. And then the goal is to have everyone like, we read this app, we say yes, or we read this app, we all say no. It's bad when like half the group says yes, half the group says no. That's really bad. Again, the readers are pretty good. All of us will say yes, all of us will say no. The purpose of that is, again, if two people read the same application, they should say the same like yes or no to that app there. Okay. Next, I go to the system, I pull out an app to read. All right. The first thing I see is the school information. So I see basic just numbers and metrics of the school. Why is this important? So we can understand the context of the school. Keep in mind, a big school with a lot of opportunities, a lot of resources is very different than a very small school with limited resources. It's just different. You guys won't be competing against each other. That's not how they do it, because it's unfair for a student with a big school to compete against a school with a small school with not a lot of resources there. So it's in context of that there. Next piece, the basic student information. So with that, GPA, the student's GPA, the number of honors classes they've taken, how do they compare against their class and their pool, like that whole applicant pool, and parent and family information. So why is that important? Again, it's more context about the student and start to understand like, oh, that's what they are, especially with the family information. That's the context into their life and their upbringing. For example, say if I see the student versus their class, let's say they had whatever grades, but they were top of their class, meaning according to their school, they're top of what they are. I keep that in consideration. Also, family information, income level. The family makes $30,000 a year versus a family that makes 300, or you max out 9999999. Different context. There's nothing good or bad. It's not like, oh, you make too much, you're bad. No. Or you make too little, you're good. No, right? It's context. What am I thinking about? What am I about to like be ready to see in the rest of the app based on these numbers there? I'm not going to ask you guys for income. Don't worry about that. Next, test scores. There'll be APs, IB test scores. Again, the UCs are test blind, so there's no SAT, there's no ACT. So then they just want to see how you do in a standardized test environment. And why is this important? What if your grades weren't reflective of how smart the kid is, right? Let's say in class, let's say you guys know this happens, you're very sick, you miss finals because you're sick, your grade in the class is low, but you're actually really smart. So you took the AP test, you got a 5. That's the top score you can get. Again, that can help demonstrate that, hey, I'm smart. It was just like this thing. I was sick. I literally could not go to school. I was dying at home. Keep in mind, at the same time, the flip regard, Coach Tony, what if I have a lower test score grade? What does that mean? It just means you're not a great test taker. Is that a bad thing? No, I am a terrible test taker, but I think I turned out pretty decent in the world. I'm a pretty decent human being. So as a result, keep in mind, it's just a number, another factor to consider in the bigger picture of everything. Next page, we're going to see the classes and their grades. Keep in mind that UCs will only see approved A through G classes. For those in California, you have to take PE, you have to take health. 99% of your schools, PE and health are not approved A through G courses. As a result, you have to take it to graduate from high school, but you can't put that on your class schedule. We're also going to see the honors designation. Did you take an approved honors class? Keep in mind, not every honors class in the class title is an approved honors class. For those who are interested, it's called UCOP articulation. Google that. You'll find a chart. Look up your school's name and it'll tell you, hey, this class is approved honors class. And you'll find out maybe there's a few honors classes that your school offers that's not approved honors, which means it won't get you that +1 honors points. You're going to see 9th to 12th grade. This is a huge mistake. I should throw it up there, right? Huge mistake. A lot of families come to me like, Coach Tony, I don't care about 9th grade. They only see 10th to 11th grade. Let me make sure I go hard on those 2 years only. And while yes, that's kind of true, it's kind of not. Readers do see 9th grade. Readers do see 12th grade. We see both extremes that you think is not important. As a result of that, 9th grade, again, doesn't get calculated in the UC GPA, but they will see your classes, they will see your grades. For 12th grade, they'll see your classes. It's too early to see grades, so they won't see your grades there, but they will see your classes. Why? They want to see the students doing well. And here's the thing to kind of think about when it comes to academics. As a reader, when I look at a student's academic profile, because students ask me like, hey, what class should I take? Should I take this? Should I take that? Oh, that class is hard. Should I drop it? Should I add this other class? At the end of the day, the reader is trying to think, would this student do well at our college? College is hard. Whoever has been telling, yeah, go to college, go to college, go to college, without understanding the true reality of it, they're setting you up for a trap. College is very hard. Not a lot of students are kind of cut out for certain schools like a UCLA, like a UC Berkeley. There's a reason why these two are both ranked top public schools in the world, because they keep that level of rigor. What's the point of helping your kids get into there for them to get kicked out or for them to drop out like a year or 2 years later? I tell students, I understand as a reader, we're trying to predict and estimate, hey, based on your rigor at your school and what you could take and what you did take, I have good faith that you're going to be fine at our school. That is why you don't need that perfect 4.0. That's why you don't need all these like things that you think you need. It's more like, hey, based on this, what's the most? That's why we tell our students, focus on rigor. You guys know, coaching students, you guys know this, right? Focus on the rigor of your schedule, because that is the most important piece of all. Of course, the grades do matter too, not the GPA as much. So we tell you guys don't focus so much on GPA, but the grade trends do matter. But most important, focus on that rigor there. Okay. So when it comes to activities, there's 20 slots in the activities. A lot, by the way, it's a lot. It's more than any other college, to my knowledge, as well as. Keep in mind, for our seniors out there in the audience, order does not matter. Common App, it does matter. UC App does not matter. It gets randomized anyways in the back end. Readers want to understand how you spend your time. And are you a strong candidate based on what you do? Everyone's smart nowadays. Being smart is just like a boom, you're smart. Now, as a result, what did you do on top of that? And that's what they're trying to see. What they're looking for: passion, interest, commitment, leadership, that X factor. That's what the readers are looking for here. And really quick, let me run here. We see work, baseball, robotics, part-time cashier, lots of robotics, martial arts, mock trials, Spanish immersions, chess, gaming. Does that count? It does. That's an activity. As class president, gold award, Boy Scouts, Eagle Scouts. So these are amazing activities. Next piece is the personal insight question. This is the heart of the application. You get to pick 4 of the 8 prompts, 350 words max. This is where the student's voice can shine. This is where you tell the readers stuff that the academics and the activities cannot share. An example for this, a not so great. I'm not trying to say bad, just not so great. So the prompt, we're going to use the first prompt, which is the leadership one. Describe an example of your leadership experience in which you have positively influenced others, help resolve disputes, or contribute to group efforts over time. A student wrote, so I was in a club last year. It was cool. We did things, had meetings and stuff. I think I was a leader, but I'm not sure. I mean, there were times when people didn't agree on things. I guess I stepped in, but yeah, there were so many other things happening at school, like soccer and video games. Speaking of which, I love playing video games. My favorite is Super Space Invaders, which it's super cool. I've reached level 50. Oh, by the way, my cat is awesome. She's so fluffy. Anyway, the club was fun. 99 words. That's a not so great PIQ. Let me show you a better one. It's actually a better one. Same prompt, right? Describe a leadership example of your leadership experience which you have positively influenced others, help resolve disputes, or contribute to group efforts over time. In my junior year, as I took on the presidency of my Environmental Warriors Club, it wasn't just a title to me. My upbringing in a coastal town where I witnessed the dire effects of pollution on marine life firsthand had deeply ingrained in me the importance of sustainable practices. The memory of seagulls entangled in plastic or the eroding shoreline was more than just a sight. It was a call to action. The dwindling participation in our recycling drives at school was a challenge I took personally. While the club had passionate members, varied ideas led to disputes. I could not have taken the easy route in forcing my own perspective, but my past experiences taught me the value of unity and understanding. I organized brainstorm sessions, ensuring every voice was heard and actively seeking feedback. The initiative of holding workshops and partnering with local businesses was born from these sessions. But more importantly, these discussions were a mirror to my growth. I learned to navigate differences, align them with my core belief in environmental conservation. I witnessed the impact of our campaign, not just in numbers, but in the strengthened bond of our community towards sustainability. However, the success wasn't just about the club or the community. It was personal. Every recycled bottle, every informed individual took me back to my coastal roots, reminding me of the small differences we can make. My journey with the Environmental Warriors was more than just leadership. It was a reflection of my identity, my roots, and my unwavering commitment to the environment. I understood that leadership is not about authority, but connecting personal passions with collective action. And in every step, I carry with me the memories of my hometown, using them as a beacon to guide my actions and decisions. Was that good? From a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being amazing. I do give it a 4 as well today. It's not perfect. There are things that I would tweak. Count's not a 350 yet. You want to keep as close to 350 as possible. Again, some things where it's just lecturing me as a reader. I don't need to be lectured. I need to be just learning more about you. It's kind of surface level still. The impact about the student, the why is there. I like that. But again, I can still get a little more about kind of give me more tactics. You're tying things together from your application. Next section is the additional comments, right? So the UCs have 2 sections called additional comments. One is academic comments, one's additional comments. One is 550 characters. The other one's 550 words. What it is you're giving them more context. A lot of context happening here. If you want to explain a weird grade trend, your grades are A, 1C. You're like, whoa, what happened right there to that 1C? Explain that as well too, right? And explain something that's unique to you. For example, I wrote the pandemic here because here's why. With the pandemic itself, it affected everyone. I challenged to find someone where it did not affect them at all. It affected all of us in various capacities. So because of that, you can't really say, I didn't do well because of the pandemic. Because again, there's people who did well during the pandemic. So it's one of those like you can't really use it as a crutch if other people did do well with it. However, if there's something unique about that particular to you, that's fair game. Keep that in mind as well. You have academic comments. I do recommend filling that up. Additional comments, you don't need to fill it up, but definitely share more things that, again, is missing. You're essentially sharing your whole life in 10 pages. So you do your best to do that augmented review, right? So augmented review, this is something that I don't think I've taught too much in this group, but it does happen. So I want to share with you guys. So up to 15 applicants after their first read, again, readers, every app gets at least 2 reads. After the first app, up to 15% of the applicants, we can do augmented review. What that means is we ask the student, hey, here's a few more questions for you to answer. I want your 7th semester grades, meaning I want senior year for a semester, and write up ask and 2 layers of recommendation. This is where the layers of recs come in if you fall under that category. Again, why? To get more context about the student. For those who are doing layers of rec for the UCs and for anything else, keep in mind layers of rec is not an area to vouch for you. That's how most of you do layers of recs. And it's terrible. As a person who reads layers of rec, I read for scholarship foundations, I read for applications. They're not supposed to vouch. I trust that what you told me was true. I need to learn new information that I didn't know. And the rest, that's why we're asking for more information. Because again, we're still at that weird maybe pile. You're in that weird maybe I need something. But if all you do is just restate everything that you told me, how does that get me any farther than where I'm at before? So that's the thing there. So how the process works is once we read the apps, kind of 3 piles. There's a strong recommend, and do not recommend pile. There is set percentages for each of these, but readers don't like, oh, I gave 5 yeses. That means that I gave like 4 nos. That's not how that math works. It naturally works out, though the correct percentage is there as well too. You recommends a lot more for do not recommend is the breakdown there. Okay. There's 2 readers who reads the apps. They give recommendations, and then it goes to the admissions committee who reads it. Keep in mind, the readers are going to read it. They're going to start around November-ish time. Round 1 reads will take us all the way to January. Reader 2 will start January, like late December, January-ish, all the way to February. And then it goes to committee. Decisions come out in March. That's a month. Do you think that committee has enough time to go through every single person's app and read in thorough? Probably not. As a result, that's why the readers are so important. The readers, usually, if you see a strongly recommend on 2 people's, that student's going to get probably a yes. If you see an app get do not recommend, it's probably going to be a no. So that's how it works there. Okay, so keep that in mind. Holistic characteristic. These are stuff that, again, as a reader, we were taught to kind of look for. These are kind of derived from the comprehensive review traits as well too. That's pretty much it. However, every single week we go live in our UC Admission Secrets group. It's not 60 minutes. It's usually 30 minutes, a little more condensable, like bite-sized training videos. This week's a little wild for us because we want to share some new updates with you guys. We teach you guys everything. For those who've been here for a while, you guys can vouch for me. All right. We give you everything as well too. We give you stuff that most other programs charge you guys for. As a company, we believe that information should be accessible for everyone. Right? That's why the reason I give you guys everything. I think you guys should, yes, take the information and go with it. We go live every week and we give you every single thing. However, those of you guys have noticed and you guys have been texting us, you guys got a lot of training videos. We do. After multiple years of doing this every single week, we have dozens, hundreds of videos, dozens of resources as well too. So the question I ask parents is, boom, do you have the time to go through all this yourself? And number 2, once you do have the time to go through, are you going to implement? Are you going to do what we say to do? So for those that don't know, we do have a college admissions coaching program. We've been running for a very long time. Those screenshots you saw at the very beginning are like our success stories, right? Our students who have gone and done really well. So essentially, in short, what we do, we help coach a child in implementing everything that we teach you guys inside the coaching program itself. So what I hear most families talk about is that, oh, I wish I found you guys earlier. I wish I joined earlier as well too. And the reason why we say that is, again, we offer a different model. Again, we hate going what everyone's doing. We use what we call a lifetime access model. What that means, if you join us as a 12th grader, we take care of you this year. If you join us as an 11th grader, we'll take care of you guys for 2 years. If you join us as a 10th grader, we take care of you 3 years. 9th grade, 4 years, all the same thing. We start as young as 6th grade and it's all the same price. We don't charge year by year. We charge one flat thing. Take care of you guys to the very end. And why? Why do we do that? Fun little fact to those who do math, we do lose money. You factor in payroll, blah, blah, blah. We do lose money on families who start earlier. However, we didn't join this like, let's make as much money as possible. No, our thing is we want to have the most success stories in the entire industry. That's my selfish goal, to have more success stories than anyone else in the entire industry. So as a result of that, if you join me only senior year, there's only so much we can do. But if you start with me last year or in 9th grade or in 6th grade, and we kind of walked you guys through the entire journey, how successful could your child be? How easy could this process be? So one thing we've been talking about on our team, one of our core values is continuous improvement. So we always talk to our teams like, hey, what can we do to get more families to succeed? How can we make this easier for families as well too? And how are our kids winning so much when other people you see online are just struggling with the entire process? Parents are struggling and frustrated. One thing that we do is we don't just do youth admission. I think Coach David in the chat, he's one of our head coaches. He's our Ivy League specialist as well. He's our private school specialist. So our students not only apply to top UCs, Berkeley, LA, all the other UCs, they're applying to other schools, the Stanfords, the USCs, the Pepperdines, the Harvard, the Ivy. So what we do is all the schools do pretty much the same thing. And what we do is we help you guys with the entire process. UCs are not anything there. So how does our coaching program work? In a nutshell, this is it. This is how we take care of our families. 1, we give you guys lifetime access to graduation. You start earlier, you get more time. You start later, you just get less time. we'll still take care of you guys to graduation. We jump on a roadmap called Plan Out from now to the end, what that looks like. Number 3, every single month we have a monthly coaching call to make sure your child's doing what they need to be doing. Every single week we do weekly accountability check-ins to make sure they're on track of what they need to be doing. Every single week we have office hours. Jump on, ask questions, leave. Jump on, listen, leave. We have daily chat support to answer questions on a daily basis. You get access to all of our resources, access to all of our replays. We help our seniors with the entire process, picking schools, picking majors, filling out the applications, essays, all the things, PIQs for UCs, personal statements for things, supplements, interview prep, everything, and scholarship support. But don't take our word for it. Speaking from a mom's
Let me know now. Let me know now.
Any advice you can give for the other moms and dads and guardians watching this and helping their child with the admissions process?
So I think one of the biggest helps, I think, unfortunately, I think we got connected to Tony a little bit later in the game. And so since there are a lot of parents of freshmen, sophomores, juniors here, we didn't actually get connected with Tony until Sabrina's senior year, or right before senior year started. And so I think that the wealth of knowledge that Tony and his team have, and the guidance can decrease the stress level. I certainly believe that we were pretty stressed out during that fall terms, like all these things that I think we should have had done that we didn't. But Tony calmed us down and made us realize that what we had is good and what we're working with is good, and that we'll be fine. And just having that sage wisdom was very helpful. But I think getting involved early, and I am very frugal, and so it was a little bit of a reach when I'm trying to find a service that will help us through this process. And so, yeah, it hurt a little bit to spend the money to get that guidance, but that peace of mind, I think, was worth it, because I kept focused on the ultimate goal is finding the best fit for Sabrina for her school, being able to go through this process with the least amount of stress necessary. I kind of stepped back a little bit. It allowed me to step back a little bit, because if I had to proofread all of those PIQs, I think there would have been a lot more headbutting and tears, and it would have been a very uncomfortable situation. So Tony and his team were invaluable for helping us through that process. And honestly, some of the things that I thought sounded great on her PIQs, really it may not be what they're looking for, because I was looking at more from an academic mind of an essay writing, but it was more of trying to discover who she was as a person. And just that writing style was going to be a little bit different. But you have an opportunity to utilize Tony through this whole process, and being able to guide your activities, what ones would be most helpful, what classes would be most helpful, what you're looking at for your different activities, clubs, etc. So utilize this resource. Tony is very gracious and generous in being able to provide a lot of answers to it through his Facebook page, as well as just any questions that people ask him. He's open, which I found very refreshing, because most of them want you to pay first before they'll give you any information. So utilize his services. You won't be going wrong at all for that.
Sabrina's currently at UC Berkeley, so it all works out to the end. You guys heard from her, not from me. So for the very first time, our team is doing something we've never done before. I'm super pumped. We had a thought. We were like, what if we let parents try out our coaching programs first? What if we take you through our welcome form? We book and help you attend your orientation. We help you book your roadmap. We plan out the next few years for you. We let you join all of our office hours, let you ask all the questions you want in chat support, give you access to the entire thousands of videos in our replay library, give you all of our resources and templates. And only if you and your child enjoys the program, then you would continue. So listen up. here are your next steps. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna have you guys book a quick 15-minute breakthrough sessions with our two college admission advisors. You have Coach Art. A lot of you guys have met Coach Art. He's our resident dad of our program. He's amazing, our student success director, and our amazing coach Katrina. She actually graduated from a really top-notch private university in Texas. We've been working with her behind the scenes. She's incredible, the passion she has working with families. You're going to chat with one of them. And on this call, you can't even have a credit card. Put your credit cards away, guys. Put your credit cards away on this call. We just want to see if we can help you guys first. Like I mentioned, we want to see if we can help you guys out first. So on this call, quick 15 minutes, we're going to ask you a few questions and just give you some recommendations. Hey, based on what you got, you guys got to do A, B, and C. That's pretty much it. So in case worst case scenario is not a good fit or it's not going to work out, you guys still have a direction where to help your child out with that. Then if you qualify at the end, the advisors told me, yes, they qualify for our trial, then we're going to go ahead and set up an enrollment conference, talk to you about our coaching programs, and get you started on the trial right away on that call. Then you're going to go try it out. Be a full member in our coaching program for 7 days. And then if all is good at the end of 7 days, you can officially join and be one of our newest coaching members. And we're going to help you guys win big in the college admissions process. But wait, there's more. I have 3 really, really exciting things. That's for everyone, our coaching families who are here. We have 3 new enhancements we're bringing to Q4. Our team has been working on this the past few weeks, literally months now for some of these. I'm super excited to share that with you guys. 1, enhancement 1. There's something brand new coming. Oh, look, that's this month. One of our new enhancements, right? You guys know the 3 studs that are in this picture. You got Coach Art, you got Coach David, and you got the Mohawk Coach Tony. We are comprising of the head coaching team of the college admissions program. Families come to us and just ask us, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? So they come to us. But the reality is you want to talk to Coach Tony because he has the knowledge of Coach Tony. You guys want to talk to Coach Art and Coach David because they have the knowledge of Coach Art and Coach David. So the reality is this, right? We're all human. Meaning we need to sleep, we need to rest, and we can only be at one place at one time. But what if our coaches don't need to sleep? What if our coaches don't need to rest? And what if our coaches really can be in multiple places at a single place in time? Introducing our CAS AI, artificial intelligence. For the past few weeks, we've been programming our own artificial intelligence bot with the collective knowledge of Coach Art, Coach David, and myself. That means we injected all of our templates. We had a few hundred, I think the number like 300 and something, templates and resources into the bot. We put thousands of videos. We had our team transcribe thousands of videos and inject it into the bot. We have tens and thousands of notes and feedbacks and comments from students all over the past 10 years as well too. We pushed it into the bot. And a few of you guys, by the way, last week, we said, hey, who can help us out? A few of you guys are actually helping us out with the final stage of this project. So coming this month, it's almost done. This is at the last piece. Our coaching families and students will be able to ask our CAS AI bot any and all college admissions questions, and it would answer like Coach Art, Coach David, and myself. If you guys know us, we give particular answer. If you ask us, hey, how do you increase rigor? None of us would say AP. Boom, that's a little spoiler for you guys. What would they say? And then as our program continues with AI, you keep feeding it more stuff. So every week we do office hours, we do training calls, we inject the machine with more and more recent information. As a result, it gets smarter and smarter. So for example, at 2 in the morning, our students are always awake at 2 in the morning. They're messaging in our help channels at 2 in the morning. We're probably still asleep. I'm probably asleep, but our bot is going to be there to answer for you. On the weekends, we're probably resting with our families, but you can ask the bot to help you with your personal project. Our goal is to have our bot help you with 95% of the simple questions. So during our coaching calls, we focus on the nuanced part of your family, and that is enhancement number 1. Enhancement number 2 coming in November is that our goal is, as we compiled all that training for the bot, we realized that we have every single type of question pretty much students will ask us, because 99% of questions, parents with multiple kids, you guys know this, it's the same things every single year. Most questions aren't super special or super unique. We've heard that in some variation last year and the year before that and the year before that. That's why we have a group component in our program. So for us, once we finish the AI, next thing we do, we're going to create our self-paced college admissions training curriculum. This is going to be every single possible topic you can think of when it comes to admissions in one easy searchable format. And we're going to launch this Black Friday. So those of you guys are excited about it, get excited. This will be coming to you guys all Black Friday. But our coaching families, you guys, once it gets live, you guys get access, no additional cost for you all there. And the last enhancement we're throwing into December 2023. A few months ago, those who were here a few months ago, you guys can let me know if you've seen this as well too. I had a really fun project I was working on. This book. I've been writing a book for a year now, 2 years now. UC Admission Secrets Revealed. We were doing it. We were done. I showed you guys the product on the live, right? I was like, well, we're ready. I gave it to 10 of my friends and my mentors to review it. 9 of them told me it's amazing, dude. It's do it, launch it. One of them told me it's good, but it's not Coach Tony good. He told me to keep going. So over the past few months since then, I was like, one of our core values is execute with excellence. So that's what we did. I went back, I started from scratch, and right, you guys know my calendar. I literally have time blocked out every single day. Just work on this book for months now. And as a result, we just finished. I just finished the last official draft, and it's at least 10 times better. The book is coming officially in December. We will try to launch it by Christmas and New Year's. And again, of course, our coaching families, you guys will get first access to the book before anyone else does. Again, free, no cost for you guys there. And that's it. So to recap real quick, we're starting a 7-day college admissions program trial. So the steps: book your 15-minute call. If you qualify, we'll bring you to an enrollment conference, talk to you about the coaching programs, and get you signed up for that 7-day trial. Then at the end of your trial, you let us know which program you want to officially join. So again, also for everyone else to know, and for our coaching families, right? October, we're launching our CAS AI bot. November, we're launching our training curriculum. December, we're launching our book. So it'll be an epic few weeks. So with that being said, here's the link for anyone who wants to book a trial. So that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and answer some questions. So 1, how do you evaluate transfers and transfer to sophomore year or junior year? It depends on the type of transfer. Some transfers are sophomores, some transfers are juniors, similar things, right? The only difference is that with the PIQs is 1 forced question. They ask you what's your major, why do you want to do it, and 3 of your choice, but essentially the same thing. Transfer students, keep in mind, they go back 5 years. That's why, so they will look at college and the last maybe 1 or 2 or 3 years of high school itself, depending on how long you have community college there. Next, will the application be denied if majors impacted? Again, some schools admit by college. So especially in that scenario, it'll be by college there. So don't worry too much there. If it's a great application, you'll be good there. Next one is it possible to transfer from Santa Cruz to UCLA for junior year? Can you? Yes. Is it easy? No. It's one of the hardest transfers to do is from UC to UC. Easiest transfer is from community college to UC. A lot of families have this option, right? Hey, I want to go to UCLA. Do I go to Santa Cruz first and then go to UCLA? No, you want to go to community college, then try again at UCLA. You do not want to go from UC to UC. It's very hard because, again, you're going to take a spot from a student that has nowhere else to go after community college. That's the thinking behind that. Why UC is so much better than other school systems? I wouldn't say it's better, but it's more competitive. They're known as a research institution. A lot of the UCs have a lot of really cool facilities and kind of accolades. Better is relative, right? Everyone, I think, has their own definitions of better there. Many schools do not offer APs as disadvantaged students. No, we mentioned this. Context is always in context of the application itself. Next one, can you explain how certain major can impact admissions? What do you think about choosing undeclared? Sometimes undeclared is an impacted major. UCI, for example, UCI admits by major. That's impacted. As a result of impacted, it doesn't help either with that. But schools that do undeclared, it's just getting you into that college first, and you can declare afterwards there. If the athlete isn't super strong, wants to do engineering, how do you get into a UC school? Again, there's lots of factors, right? Rigor of the schedule, how's the rigor of the schedule, how's the activities, and the PIQ. And keep in mind also being self-aware. Do you want to go to a UC? It's hard. It's not easy. Engineering UC, hard. Why do you want we send our students there if they're not ready for it or they're not meant to go there and they're going to fail out? That's not good. So again, is that a good fit? And if it is, the other parts of the app will reflect that. The UCs have a max number of out-of-state to admit. What's the max number? Yes. So the max number is 18%. Do they go over? Yes. UCLA goes over every year. Berkeley goes over every year. San Diego goes over every year. So they're trying to reduce it, but it's 18%. The other UCs don't even have close to that yet, but that is a number there too. ELC, what is ELC? ELC is your top 9% of your class. What that means is you're guaranteed into a UC If there's spots, meaning you apply, you don't get to any schools, then you will get into UC if there's spots. That UC, by the way, is probably more said if there's spots. Do two readers read entire PIQs? They read the whole thing from top to bottom. Everyone reads the whole thing from top to bottom. Do you know how much the family makes per year? Do you have to put that on the app? How do you know? The family shares that information as well too. Do you have to know? I always recommend yes, regardless of no number. Why does state of seniors make FAFSA to graduate? I have no clue why they make you do it, but you got to do it anyway. FAFSA is just the application to qualify you. FAFSA gives you no money. FAFSA is just the application. Everyone needs to do FAFSA, regardless of how much you make. Unless you're making like multiple million and you don't really care. Maybe not. But for everyone else, usually to qualify for anything, even loans, to qualify for loans, you need to fill out the FAFSA. And 3 worth putting on the AP exam worth putting, yes, that's still a passing grade. What's the number of honors recommended? It's no different for everyone's judging based on your school. It's based on your school. Look at the top kid in your class. If you're aiming for top schools, top kid, match their number of APs is the recommendation there. Can you discuss undecided? If you're really undecided, then you're undecided. If you're doing it strategically to get into a competitive major, readers know that. And as a result, like if everything you did was computer science and you click undeclared, that's kind of baloney, right? Don't do that. What's the website? Check honors classes. UCOP Articulation is a site there. Next one are the GPA acceptance given online for the GPAs or the recalculated GPAs. I don't know. I haven't looked up any school's GPA numbers in forever. And if I didn't do it, you guys know it's not worth it. Would you recommend putting a maximum 20 activities so none stand out? All 20. Max out all 20 spots. It's a pleasure chatting with you guys. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you guys had a blast. That's pretty much it for me. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Again, go ahead and book your session if you guys are interested. Go ahead and tap the link right now before. Here. Oh, tap the link right now. So once I close Zoom, it's gone forever, right? Once you tap Zoom, it's gone forever as well too. So go ahead and tap that. I'll see you guys again next Tuesday. It won't be 60 minutes. It'll be a 30-minute call. Go back to our normal 30-minute calls as well too there. Have a great rest of your day. Chat to you guys next week. Tap the link. Bye, everyone.